And thank you so much, Avil, for again giving me this opportunity to host you. I'm very proud to be here and I'm very happy to be associated with you. A little bit about Avil Pinto. He comes with an HR background, a very strong HR background. He has currently is working with Fressland Campaigner, which is a German company, and he's the founder of the By Jobs Hunt. He is a careerpreneur, a certified NLP coach. He's the president of the Arabian Dreams Toastmasters for anybody who wants to learn public speaking. And of course, he's into logistic account management. He does a lot of things. He is an inspiration for all of us as well. And he's here today to talk to us about something very beautiful. So I love things that, has hacks, tricks, secrets. And today he is here to tell us 5 secrets, and I'm glad that I'm here to ask him these questions. So Avil Pinto, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, resourceful Renira, for the wonderful and warm introduction. I love the energy. I think 2021, there are a lot of things that you have set to embrace and achieve. And I'm so glad that you are one of our volunteers and taking the lead in so many of initiatives. Excellent. So who is in the house today? Good evening, and wishing you all happy and prosperous, joyful New Year to you and your family. Thank you so much for joining, taking out time to learn something can change your life today. And I can guarantee you that. So let me know who are our audience. So today's topic is all about the secret recipe on how you can secure your job offer, or at least get to the point where you will face a great interview. How would that be? The next 45 minutes, you learn that recipe, which can make a difference in your life. If yes, say yes in the chat box. I love to speak when there is engagement. And that gives me energy to speak more, to share more. Bring it on. Thank you so much. Ivan, thank you. Jonathan, thank you. Okay, now let me know who all are actively looking for job. If you are actively looking for job, say active. If you're looking for career change, career progression, say change. And if you're here just to learn, just say learn. And I would love to know change, learn, change, learn. Okay. So we have many of them who are here to learn and change. Thank you. Thank you for actively participating and putting the comments in the comment box. Great. So I'm also looking at people who are actively looking for change. Brilliant. Thank you, Taslim. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Purti, Kandaswamy, Aruna, Arushi. Excellent. Thank you. Now, I will show you something and then I would get started. This is a water bottle. Can you all see?
Yeah, we can.
Yes. Now, this is a water bottle. And imagine that you're stepping into the grocery or supermarket and you want to buy a bottle of water. And this water bottle is kept for you, and it is priced as 2 dirhams. You will see this on the rack. How many of you looking at this water bottle would be willing to pay or would be willing to buy?
I would be doubtful.
Okay. Please put your comments. No. Sushma says no. Who would be willing to pay for this water bottle? It's a plain water bottle. Nothing. No, 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 no. Everybody says no. Okay. I would not ask you why wouldn't you be willing to pay? But now I will show you another one. This water bottle, Aquafina. I'm not branding or I'm not marketing this water bottle, but now if this water bottle is available on the shelf, this is priced 2 dirhams. Would you be willing to buy? I can see some faces nodding yes. I can see the comments yes. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Now, what is the difference between the two? Both are water bottles. Yesterday, I bought it from a cafeteria. I paid 1 dirham each for both. The only difference that I did here, I removed the label of the water bottle. If I put it back, probably you will still be happy to pay for it. Okay, the glue is too tight. But if you see this, I'm putting the label back again. Now, would you trust in this water bottle? Now, would you pay? Yes? Okay. Now, what is the difference between the two? Can anybody put it in the chat box? What is your thought when I shared this? Somebody says brand indicators, we can't trust. Brand name, brand. Okay. The difference between the two, thank you for sharing, is this label. A label can differentiate so much about your buying patterns, about your trust, your decision to take it or not. Now, why I'm sharing this example here? You and me, we have a brand image. We have a perception. Employers are looking for quality. They're looking for suitability. They're looking for somebody who can be that brand. Now, how do we present ourselves? How do we portray ourselves? What is our image to the world? Is what you have to think over. If you are actively looking for a job, what kind of a brand image you are creating? I just leave you with few seconds to think and note what kind of brand image you have. If I'm an HR professional, if I'm a supply chain professional, or if I'm in sales, what kind of brand image do I have? What is the value system? What are the qualities? What are my characteristics? What are my personal traits? Now, all of this I have put together in a recipe today, which is called the 5 secrets. The 5 secrets. And I have coined it in one word. So I leave it to Renira, okay, and then I will get back. Thank you, Renira.
Thank you so much for that brilliant example with two simple bottles of water. And yes, I do agree with you that labels and brands are big in the market and has a lot of value. Now, I want to get into this. I'm very excited. You know how excited I get when you have something new to tell us. And I do know that, you have a lot of value to give to the community. So I will not, take up much time. However, I do want to know, Evil, what makes you do what you do? I'm sure you already have something that you're committed to, a proper 9 to 6 or 9 to 10, whatever a timing job that you have. Still, you are committed to the buy jobs hunt. So what drives you? What makes you do what you do?
Thank you, Renira, for that question. I think most of them ask, Avil, how do you manage the time? You have family, you have children, you have a job, and then Dubai Jobs and then Toastmasters, and then your fitness. Oh my God, how do you do this? You know, there was a seminar which I attended about 5 years ago. And in that seminar, one question was thrown at me. This one question changed the entire game of my life. When you're gone, on the last day, if somebody has to interview your family, what would they talk about Avil Pinto? What would they talk about Avil Pinto? So then I started thinking, what is my life purpose? What would I be remembered for? What would I be remembered for? And that statement, that question defined a core purpose in my life. And that core purpose, I coined it as voluntary social responsibility, VSR, voluntary social responsibility. And that's where the Dubai Jobs Hunt was born. I started volunteering to share my wisdom, knowledge, experience of how I struggled. The way you see me now is not the way I was 5 years back. People who know me, they would relate. 2010, in the month of May, I was in a flourishing career with Deutsche Bank in Mumbai. I resigned. People were shocked. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I am pursuing my dreams to go overseas." Which country? Saudi Arabia. Another shock. Of all countries, you found Saudi Arabia to go and build your career? 99.9% people said no. 1% said, if you have a strong reason, go. You will do it. You will make it anywhere. With that hope, I went. June 24th, I landed Jeddah. As I landed, I only saw all sand, desert. My God, where have I landed? Culture shock. And then things moved on. I thought 7 years of corporate experience, MBA in general management, with a nice multinational bank experience, administration operations to back with some sales, marketing experience. I thought I would get it easily. How many of you have this belief or hope that I can get it easily, or I am credible enough, or I have the qualification to get me a job? Things didn't work the way I thought. 1 month passed, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I was frustrated. I started doubting on myself, my abilities. People around me started telling me, I will take up whatever comes. I had a benchmark of a salary that I desired, I wanted, because I did a salary survey for a manager level. What would be ideal salary that would be paid? Everybody rejected, rejected, rejected. In 4 months, I had only 2 interviews. I had applied to over 300 jobs, and I was applying for jobs which would match my abilities, my suitability to do the job. But no response, because they were asking for local experience. Everybody said that for admin and HR, they are looking only for locals, Saudi nationals. And that year, there was a huge Saudiization that was happening. And so my hope of finding or getting a job in that profession was very limited. So what do? I went through frustration. It was painful. Every day, when I was not getting a call or no response, LinkedIn would send, sorry, your application is declined for so and so reason. Sometimes I felt heartbroken. But was that the reason I went there, to give up and go back? Because my boss has said, Avil, if it doesn't work, don't worry. You have the role back here in the bank. I had that confidence. But I didn't bank on that. I said, I'm here for a reason. I will make it happen. But the journey of 5 months taught me so many lessons. And that's the reason today, if Renira asked me that question, what makes me do what I do? I don't want anybody else to go through what I have gone through. I had the resources, but I lacked the resourcefulness to apply what I knew. I repeat, I had the resources, but I lacked the ability to apply, ability to be resourceful. Now, what does that mean? What is resources and resourcefulness? I had the experience, I had the qualification, but I lacked few of the things which I was not aware at that point of time. Because I didn't reach out to an expert to ask guidance. I should have had a mentor, which I didn't approach to anybody. I didn't learn what would get me a job. There are certain processes which are required in every job seeker's life. Job search is a job itself. So there are certain strategies, processes, techniques, skills you got to have during job search, which will stand you out, which will get you in the limelight, which will help you be identified by the recruiters, by the prospective employers. I didn't know about all of this. I was using one CV, which was 5 pages. I put in everything, all the details, every job, because I felt that at least this CV somewhere will get identified. But no, I didn't know that I had to make a tailor-made, custom-made CV for every job that I was applying. I was not prepared for interviews. I went for an accountant job. I was not ready. I thought I will fake it, but I failed miserably. They asked me a question. I was not ready. Now, these are the things which I did not do well. And because of this painful process, I felt that many of them out here, after I moved to Dubai in 2012, my majority of the role was talent acquisition. I was interviewing people, I was shortlisting candidates, and I could see the same thing what I was going through. People were going through depression, desperation. They just wanted a job, and they were mirroring me, what I was going through. And then I took some time out and started counseling, mentoring, how to write a CV, how you should be prepared for job, what kind of mindset you should have. It's 80% is a mindset, 20% is a skill set. And once I started doing it one-to-one, people started getting jobs. I said, if I can do it one-to-one, why not do one-to-many? And that's how the meetup group started. Then we started conducting meetups. So today, in the last 2 years, we have conducted over 85 meetup sessions, both online and offline. And I think we have reached to so many thousands of people during COVID. We conducted so many Zoom sessions. And thanks to all our volunteers who actually got together and helped each other to conduct these sessions. Thank you to all the volunteers. Now, this is what inspires me. This is what keeps me going, so that when somebody gets the job, that's the best part of, gift that I give myself. I mean, I am fulfilled. And that's why I love to do what I do, Renira. And I think some people say, Avil, you've been awake till 12, 1, 2. I have met candidates from 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those were the days. But this is what I love to do. And this is why I'm here to share my journey, my life experience with all of you, so that it can somewhere give you the new insight or a different perspective of possibly what I am, where I'm not seeing results, why I'm not getting those results, and what needs to change. Change is the name of the game. Albert Einstein once said that if I keep doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results, it's insanity. I can't keep doing the same thing. I have to get a new perspective. I have to change. I have to see what I can do differently, out of the box. And that's why these 5 secrets today that I'm going to share might relate. This is not something new, but this is my life experience. By meeting people, by reading many books, by listening to top great speakers who are in the HR, and having myself attended 84 sessions, whoever spoke on the platform, I was there listening to them, taking notes. And this is how I have probably acquired that knowledge, which I could share with all of you. So are you all excited today? Prasad, thank you. Great, Avil. Thank you so much. Okay, super. So let's keep moving. So I have the 5 secrets, and write down this word. This word which I've coined for this 5 secrets is RACAS. RACAS. It's a Spanish word which is called iron. Iron. Okay. Loha. RACAS. Now what is RACAS? Stephen, thank you. R stands for research. What research means to you? In the job seeker's life, what is research? Now, before I move into RACAS, let me tell you that there is a disclaimer. As I said, whatever I'm going to share today is my life experience, my experience, and situations that I've handled, counseling, mentoring, coaching hundreds of job seekers. It may not particularly apply to your situation right now, but look at what you could abstract, what you could relate to yourself to apply in your job search. It's like one medicine doesn't fit to all patients. So one solution may not fit to all of you because each of you have your own situation that is going through right now. So be mindful about what I'm sharing. If you have to clarify anything, you can always reach out to me. Yeah. So let's start with research. What is research and why it is important in job seekers' life? Now, I'm coming to research from the point where you are shortlisted for an interview or you are potentially applying for a job. Now, there are two research that happens. Now, when I say job search, is it about attending the interview? Or does it start from the very beginning of you preparing a CV? Where does it start from? I want to see the comments below. Where does it start from? Does it start attending an interview or does it start from you preparing your CV? Thank you so much. It's the CV. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Now, I am not going back to how the CV should look like, what you should do before preparing the CV, but I'm directly jumping into research because this is one of the greatest secrets that you could ever know, which I failed miserably. I went for interviews without researching. So what does research? Why research is so important? Any company, before you apply, you should know which company you're applying. Sometimes people say that, oh, I'm not getting to know the company name. The job vacancy is coming on social media. But when you're applying on job portals or on LinkedIn, you would at least have the visibility of which company that you're applying. So you should basically know which company you're applying. Okay. Now, basic things that you did, but before you attend interview, imagine that you got a shortlist call and you are going for an interview. Now, this is very important. Now, if you are taking notes, please do, because these are the things that can help you during your preparation. So when I say research, you should research about the company, the vision, mission, their values, products, services, their presence, their financial health, any news about them in the articles or in news, person you're going to meet, the interviewer, HR or hiring manager. What makes the company unique compared to the rest of the competition? Analyze or find out from the management, ask questions, or connect with people working in that organization before you could actually go for an interview. Find the common threads, common connections, and check with them. How is this company? What is the culture? How do you see? What is the growth? Now, these are the things you should research. Now, this is a process itself. This will take considerable time. And this is what you got to invest during interview preparation. Okay, good to go. This is the first basic principle, research. So R stands for research. Okay, I'm just checking on the comments. All right. Now let me go to the next secret. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat box. We will pick up the questions later at the end. Okay. So the second important secret before you could prepare for interview is ability and suitability. Ability and suitability. Now, what does this word ability mean? Able to do, skill to do something. The dictionary meaning is skill to do something. Suitability is the quality of being right or appropriate for a particular person, purpose, or situation. Ability and suitability. Now, I would ask before applying for that job, do I have the ability to do that job? Do I match the expectations of that job role? Am I suitable? Why should you ask this question? out of desperation to get a job or in the urgency to get a job, I would keep sending the CV every job that I see. Would that be fair to do? Because if I'm not matching a job role, I'm actually wasting my efforts applying for that job. Now then I expect in return a response from the HR. The HR wouldn't respond because you're not matching the role. Now this is a bit of a catch-22 which you have to learn, which you have to adapt even before you apply for the job. You have to go through a job description thoroughly at least 5 times and underline what are the must-win factors for that job and what are those things that you already have. Probably some qualifications, experience, skills that match. You have to strengthen those and highlight or give that weightage in your CV. Now, when it comes to interview, the interviewer is looking at whether you have the ability or suitability. Now, what you should be prepared with, you have to focus on what the interviewer is willing to listen or want to listen. It is like a best salesman. Imagine a great salesman that you have come across or you have seen around you. He would offer the customer what he is willing to buy. The salesman would offer the buyer what he is willing to buy. Now, what does that mean in this context? That you have to prepare for that job interview based on what the job is expecting. List down everything, each and everything, what the interviewer, HR or prospective hiring manager would be looking from you. And when I was interviewing candidates, when I would ask questions, they would come back with answers which totally doesn't relate or convince me or the hiring manager that he is the right candidate, because from the job seeker's perspective, the job seeker is saying what he or she has done. But it is very important to articulate, word it in a way to sound similar or to sound matching to the job that you are applying. Very important to prepare. And that's why I say job description is your Bible, Bhagavad Gita or Quran, whatever you name it, but that is your answers to what you have to be prepared. They're giving you to something which you have to be ready. Now, some of you might say that, okay, I don't have the relevant experience, I don't have the relevant skills, then what do I do? We will come back to that. But in at 60 to 70%, if you are matching the role, then you have to give stronger weightage in preparing for those things and practice it for the interview. Now comes the third secret. Now, so far we covered 2 secrets. First is research. Second is your ability and suitability for the job role. Yes. Hope you all are getting some value from here. Super. If you are getting the value, say yes. Wenzel, thank you so much. Lovely. Now, the third important thing, super important. You may not have the first and the second done properly, but the third thing, if you do it right, you will, you can do anything, you can achieve anything. And that is nothing but confidence. C for confidence. If I didn't have the confidence to stand in front of all of you, what would have happened? I have interviewed people with merely bit of experience for the job, but that confidence was so great, we hired. And that's what happens, people around us. I mean, we keep wondering that we think that I have the qualification, I have experience, I am the right match for the job, but the confidence wouldn't match to the expectation. So you have to build confidence. Now, how you can build confidence? I will give you 2 techniques today. Would that be good? So for this first technique, I would encourage all of you, instead of sitting wherever you are, just stand up. Stand up for a minute, just for a minute. If you could stand up. This is a request, and this would help you gaining the confidence. Okay. So how many of you know Superman position? Superman. I will stand and show you how the Superman pose looks like. This is Superman. Okay. All of you know Superman? The Superman? The Superman. Okay. So Superman stands like this, chest up, held high, take a deep breath, stand in front of the mirror. So imagine that you are getting into the premises of the company in the office. So just arrive maybe 5 to 10 minutes before so that you can freshen up. And when you're going to the washroom, you stand in front of the mirror and look into your eyes and say that, Avil, you are meant for this job. Your life has prepared for you to do this job, and you meant to succeed in this interview, and you deserve this. Oh, wow, I love it. See the confidence that I gain by just saying that. It's affirmation, positive affirmations. And when you stand like this, your confidence shoots up, I don't know, maybe 10x or 100x, but it is amazing. It's just incredible. How do you feel? I would like to hear from people who just did this exercise. And just smile. Just smile. Look at yourself and smile. Right? Don't think how this interview would go, how the interviewer, what kind of question you would ask. Don't think of the challenge. Think of the possible outcome that you want to see to yourself. I am a winner and I am succeeding in this interview. Super duper. Yes, automatically we are getting smile on my face. Avil, excellent, Poti. Thank you so much. Zora, self-motivated, great. I believe everybody honestly did this exercise, but if you have not done it, try this out. It is super simple. And my mentor said, the things that are simple, we don't do it, but we focus on things which are complicated. When you don't see results, then we break our heads, right? So simple yet powerful. Okay, this is the most simple. So I told 2 techniques, but there's another technique. So basically smiling and giving this power pose is one of the things. Third important thing. So smile, power pose, and third is practice. Okay. Now imagine your favorite athlete, a singer, dancer, musician. Imagine they are performing without practice. Would they be at their best? Would Sachin Tendulkar would have been at his best if he had not to practice 300 strokes every single day? Would Virat Kohli be the man, the person, the cricketer that he is without practicing every single day? Now we go for interviews, walk in the park. Okay, let them ask the question. I will see how to respond at that time. Disaster. You are inviting disaster. You have one chance to make it or break it. But because of your own lack of preparedness, you will not succeed. Now, who to blame? Should we blame the interviewer? Should we blame those other prospective candidates? And people say, those others were good, or they matched the expectation, or they were looking for lesser salary. There are many excuses you'll create. But have you ever asked yourself that I was not prepared enough? And when you take that accountability of yourself, you take responsibility of your life, you see how things would change. I have failed in many interviews, by the way. And that's why I'm saying this. You got to practice. You got to practice what you're going to say, but you can't be mugging the same answer and how you write your exam paper. No, you also have to customize. You can't be, when somebody asks you, tell me about yourself, and then you start tuck, 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 tuck. No, that's not the intent of what I'm trying to say. But you should have enough content to articulate in a way that person will know that, okay, this person knows what he's speaking. This person knows what he or she has to offer, what value the person can bring in. Okay, so with this you will build amazing confidence. You see, anything that you practice speaking, you practice dancing, you practice interviewing or facing interview. It is all about practice. Repetition is the mother of mastery. Repetition is the mother of mastery. So you got to repeat as many times. Now, sometimes what happens is people have attended 90 interviews, 100. I know people who have attended like 100 over interviews and they're not successful. And then they say that, you know what, the last 100 interviews, it was like I prepared so much, it became like I could drink. It's like smooth drinking water. That was so smooth. But you will struggle in the first 2-3 interviews. Okay, so you're getting what I'm trying to say here. Confidence will come with practice, and you have to keep practicing. That's it. Simple. Every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, do the mirror exercise, do the Superman roll, Superman pose, smile, and then practice what you have to say. Okay. So each interview is an opportunity for continuous improvement. Of course. Thank you, Magic Trainer. I think that's Khalid. Great. So now let's move to the next one. So I shared about research, ability and suitability, confidence. Now, what could be the fourth one? RACA. What could be the fourth A? Please comment here. So whoever knows or can gauge what could be that. Stephen says
I might
accountability.
know, but I'm going to keep quiet.
Benson says, okay, yeah. Okay, that's it. That's attitude, guys. Attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. How many of you heard this famous quote? Your attitude determines your altitude. Now, imagine, I'll throw this question at you. What kind of attitude you would like in a person to work along in your office? Let's say you're working in an office and you would like to hire somebody, or you have a colleague around you. What kind of attitude you would appreciate in that person? Please comment in the chat box. Positive attitude. Okay, anything else? Collaborative attitude, creative attitude, creativity, can do attitude. Wow. Calm and decisive attitude, learning, friendly attitude. Fantastic, guys. You all are so amazing. You all know so many things. You all are giving me more ideas right now. Frequency match, appreciating attitude, cooperative, enthusiastic, friendly, approachable. Wow, you have the answers to this attitude already. So whoever wants, I think I can save a lot of time here. Guys, attitude sets you from rest of the people. Okay, attitude is the key. Positive attitude works all the time. It works wonders. Attitude of willing to learn, open-minded, motivated, taking responsibility, passionate. Wow. I think I'm done. So you all covered all the points. So thank you so much to our lovely audience. Now ask yourself, what is your attitude that you're carrying during interview or during the job search process? How is your attitude when you interact with people? How is your attitude when you deal with your work colleagues? What's your attitude even when you deal with people at home or your friends? Now that attitude reflects everywhere. That's a character. That's you. Now, how do you represent yourself? What kind of attitude you display? Positive or negative? Think about it, because this is something that you have to reflect on. Probably this could be coming repeatedly in your interview, and people see or sense that other side of you. Probably that's why you may not getting or secure that offer letter. So the best way to check on yourself is ask your closest family friends who know you very well. Ask them if they have to tell you three things, three good things, what they would be. And if they have to tell you about two things that requires area for improvement, something that may need change, ask that also. So three areas, so three great areas. Now in through this exercise, you're actually getting to know your strengths, who you are, and your areas for improvement. How cool is that? So this is the exercise that I'll leave it to all of you. Go today and do it. Very simple. It may not take more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but you will learn at least something about yourself. Maybe you are struggling with it, because when interviewer asks what are your greatest strengths, weaknesses, and you wonder, what do I answer? What do I say? So this is a simple way to recognize yourself. I hope this is helping you guys. If yes, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, and say yes in the chat box. Okay. Isha Jaikar, can you repeat? Okay. So what I was saying is, if you would like to identify your strengths and areas for improvement, weakness is a negative word. I wouldn't like to use it. So area for improvement. So ask your closest family and friends, somebody who knows you closely. Ask them if they have to tell you three good things, what would it be? And if they have to recommend two things that you need to change, area for improvement, two things, three good things, or three can be more also. It can be 5, it can be 8, it can be 10. Okay. So I'll leave that to you. Ask for feedback. Exactly. Good and bad. Thank you, Renira, for adding that point. Okay. Now, so we're done with attitude. So you already have all the responses. Go to the chat box and see what kind of attitude, a good attitude that you would appreciate. And if you appreciate that kind of an attitude, that then do you have that in you? Okay. Do you portray that to the prospective employer? Okay, then the last one would be the S, Rakas. Now we finished Raka. Now the last one is S. In fact, Raka is nothing but mummy in Spanish. Okay, this is what I learned while I was researching yesterday. So the last one is the S. S stands for storytelling. S stands for storytelling. So we finished research, ability and suitability, confidence, attitude. Now storytelling. Think of all those people in your life around you who are influencers, change agents, effective public speakers, someone who has influenced you. For example, Jay Shetty, or Les Brown, or Lisa Nichols, or Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu. What are they doing? Think of the leaders who are running great organizations. Think of those leaders who are CEOs, CFOs, or any management levels. What do they do? How do they bring that influence in people? Why do people listen to them? Because they are the greatest storytellers. They are the greatest storytellers. And this is what you need to do. Storytelling is an art. It's a skill. You got to develop this as a job seeker. But even if you're not a job seeker, imagine if you have children at home. What is the effective way to deal with them? Is tell stories. How we are influenced in our life. Do you remember the stories your grandfather, grandmother, parents would have told you? powerful. It is super powerful. So storytelling is something that you need to practice. Now, I'm looking for a job. I need a job. How will I practice all this? I will tell you a simple tool today, and it will work wonders in your life. Are you excited to listen to this amazing tool that helped me to put it so precisely, and I could share a story in less than 2 minutes? Less than 2 minutes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Prasad, Munir. Oh my God, I can see so much of interaction, engagement in the chat box. Thank you so much for all the love. Okay, now the simple technique, take this down. You want to be a great storyteller? There are few elements that you need to mention. You got to say it in, verbalize it with body language, gestures, and many factors. So if you go back to the beginning of I started with a story, going back to Mumbai, then to Saudi, then having that painful life, frustrated as a job seeker. That was my story. Wasn't that effective? It's my real life story. I didn't have to practice, but obviously over a period of time I shared with many people, so it has become kind of my life. That's the story. Now in that, I had certain parameters. The first thing is I had a situation which I described, and then there were certain tasks that I had to do. Then I did certain actions and I got some results. The technique is called the STAR, STAR. Write down, please. STAR technique, STAR. The best of interviews where people shine. Instead of telling 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they go on talking and then you bore the interviewer. I have slept during interviews. I'm not kidding. I'm sitting with the hiring manager. I'm the HR, okay, and the candidate is going on and on and on, and I'm sleeping at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the time I cannot. But imagine if a person is excited, he gives some spice to what he says. That makes a big difference. Now, STAR technique can help you. So, what is STAR? STAR is situation. S stands for situation, T for task, A for action, R for result. Now, in your life, if you work for 5 years, now you got paid for it. Now, why did employer pay for you for the job that you did for 5 years? You did something. You were there to do tasks, roles, responsibilities, KPIs, whatever you call it. Now, all of this called your ability to do. Your ability to do what will help the organization to solve their problems. So you are a problem solver. If I'm an accountant, if I manage their cash flow, if I do bank reconciliation, if I'm in the HR, if I screen potential and screen the CV and shortlist and recommend to the prospective hiring manager for an interview, that is an ability of me to help bring in a good candidate to an organization. In sales or engineering, doctors, we all on a daily basis are solving problems. Now, there's a very, very great saying. If you know what they want, and then if you know what they want, and then if you can help them how to do it, if you know what they want, and if you know how to help them how to do it, or how to help them solve it, you become valuable resource. You become a problem solver. Why do we get on Amazon.com and buy things? Because they solve our problems, not going to the market and waste our time driving and all. We get it on within 24 hours, 48 hours, we get the shipment to our doorstep. They solve our problems. So each of us in our profession are meant to solve problems, and that's the reason there is a vacancy, there's an opportunity in a company. and how is your ability to solve the problem. So go back to your experience when you're preparing for interview. Use this star technique. Look at every situation that you have faced and think about how did you solve that challenge. What was the situation? What was the task that you took on? What was the action did you take? And what was the result? Now when you know these things, you will be more confident. And let me tell you, when they would ask a question, nowadays interviews are looking at behavioral based. So behavioral based interview checks on a lot of your uh, personal characteristics, leadership, team management, etc. Now if they ask you a question, give me an example or demonstrate that how you have led your team effectively. Did you have any grievance with your teammates? Demonstrate that you had to propose to your management an idea, and how did you sell it. Demonstrate or give me an example of a decision that you took and you failed. Now when they ask these questions to you, you can't be sitting there and think, oh, what do I say? You can't fake it. Then you can't create a story. So you have to use star technique, prepare before you even go for interview. So that's why I'm giving you this beautiful technique. It's not something new. It's been used for years, but not many are aware about it. So use star technique. Go back to every area of your life. Okay, from your university days to your first job and the job until now, and understand where, how, and when you have dealt with situations. Now, this is a star technique to be a good storyteller. Okay, so I will give you an example. Now, during COVID, there were a lot of challenges. Working from home, we had to completely organize ourselves to work from home. As a logistics supply chain, it was very challenging because it is a connecting team where everything that we do is connected. So we had to physically be present, and that was what the assumption was. But COVID disrupted everything. It put us out of the box to be creative, to do things which we couldn't imagine. I myself couldn't imagine that supply chain could be worked out of home. Okay, now what did we do? That was the situation. Immediately, the task that we took was how and where each of them are living and how things can be organized. We listed all the tasks which are mutually binding or connected to each other, and then we separated those tasks individually. We organized for printers, fax machine, everything, not fax, scanners and printers, and we took the action. We took the action, and then the result was we could operate from home. No, it's not something story that I created, but it's a real fact. Now I can add a lot of statistics, quantifiable things. What was the result? How many invoices one would be generating working from home? How many prints? How many shipments that were delivered? So many things that can be quantified. But I'm just giving an example how simple it is. That was the situation, the task, and action and result. Okay, I hope these examples are helping. Thank you, Poti, for sharing. Okay, super. So Magic Trainer is giving some suggestions. Tell them what the problem and how did you deal with the problem. Okay, now we are almost done. Actually, 5 secrets are done. So another technique to storytelling, I would like to say, is before you prepare anything or before you say something, okay, keep these 5 W's in your mind. 5 W's. Why do you say it? Why? To whom? When? Where? Okay. Why? What? Sorry, I missed the what. Why? What? To whom? When? And where? In every situation, if you ask these 5 W's to yourself, you would be an amazing speaker. You would have such amazing thoughts that would flow in your mind that you could articulate and say to people. You will blow others. So ask these 5 Ws. Okay. 5 I are actually part of root cause analysis too. Thank you, Priyanka. Yes, it is. Thank you, Stephen, for summarizing that. So with this, I think I am done with sharing the 5 secrets. I hope these 5 secrets would, as I committed or guaranteed, that it would make a difference. If it has made a difference, say yes in the chat box. And I would like to know from all of you, listening to the last 40 minutes of this knowledge sharing, has your confidence shifted up or shifted high? If it yes, then say yes. And if you have to give feedback, how was the session for you? Did it meet your expectations? Between 1 to 10, 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Give your rating. It could be 8, it could be 9, it could be 10. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. 10 plus 100. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You made my day. This is the first session of the new year, the first career day session. So we have another 53 weeks to go, and we will promise, as committed volunteers of Dubai Jobs Hunt, along with empowerment talks, we will make sure that every Thursday you will get amazing learning, which will prepare you not only for interviews but for life. Okay, it will make you unemployable, which means that even no matter when and where, even if you have to look for a job, you will, in your sleep, you know that what I should be doing, provided that you practice and put all these 5 secrets to application. So my mentor says that iron is good when it is used. Otherwise, it gets rusted. So keep using this knowledge, what you have gained today. Okay, so with this, I conclude. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you, Renira, for hosting. And if you have any questions, we will address it. We will not have much time. But if you have any questions, you can reach out to me personally. You can email me at avilpinto@gmail.com, and I would be happy to connect with all of you. You could also connect on Dubai Jobs Hunt website. You can join our Facebook group, Dubai Jobs Hunt on Facebook, where we do a lot of educational videos, including our volunteers are doing a lot of videos. Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm really delighted with all your amazing love, support, comments. I know that the phase has been painful for many of you in 2020. A lot of people are looking for jobs, so we will stand together. We'll make it happen. With all these sessions, I'm sure that you will gain some new insights that can help you prepare for a better tomorrow. Okay. Yes, Renira, are you there?
Yes, I thought you forgot I was there.
No, no, I'm here.
All right, thank you so much, Avil. That was so informative. You had all of us so engaged. I actually thought that you're going to go on for another hour because you had so much value to add. And I am so glad because it's great to see people still commenting. Thank you so much for engaging so much with us. And like I said at the start of the session, that you will just keep getting more and more added value, added knowledge. I'm sure there were some people who knew a few things already, but I'm sure there are some who are finding this very new. I saw a lot of responses for the STAR method where people were not aware of what it is. Just to give you, a little bit, if you want to know more depth about it, we have had a speaker named Ruth who came previously on Career Day and has done a session specifically on STAR method. So you can go back to the website and check it out. We also had Avil do a session on SWOT much earlier. It's something that I had mentioned in the chat and people were asking what it is. So you can go back to those sessions and you'll have the answers. Now, there are a few questions, Evan. I'm not going to let you go without them. So,
Sure.
but you just have to answer them a little quickly because yes, we are running a little out of time.
Yeah.
However, there is something, you know how much of research and how much I love checking out new trends and updated skills. So this is just something in and around that, and it is based with a few topics that you did cover. Now, we always were in this, before pandemic, let's say, we were into having a fixed mindset. This is my job, this is my job role, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to multitask, I'm not supposed to this, I'm not supposed to do that, and a lot of things that came along.
Yes.
Now everything has moved from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. That is one of the new trends. I
Yes.
want to know from you, and I want you to at least tell everyone, why is it so important to move from a fixed mindset to a growth
Wow.
mindset?
Wow. This relates. I can relate to one real example. Everybody have heard two brands. One Nokia, another one Apple. Nokia remained fixed. Where is it today? And where is Apple today? Fixed versus growth. Fixed mindset, Nokia. Growth mindset, Apple. I'm not promoting or whatever decision the management has taken about these two companies. It was their choice at that time, but growth is always important. You have to keep innovating, you have to keep learning, you have to keep adding value to yourself so that you can add value to others. If you're not upskilling in the job that you're in the next 5 years, you'll become redundant. And people wonder why I am made redundant or why I am not resourceful enough. It's because you have to invest some time every single day to read, to listen, to grab more certifications, or see what are trending, what I could be, what I should do so that I can become that resourceful person, value add person, or ability to solve bigger problems, bigger challenges. So another thing that I keep telling people is that the bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck you have. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck you will have. So growth mindset will allow you to help you deal with anything that the life will throw at you. So you are ready, not that fixed mindset. Fixed mindset will, oh my God, I'm not ready, I'm not confident, I didn't know this would happen. So that's what happens with fixed mindset. I think I have helped in the most quickest way to respond to this,
I am
Renira.
very glad. I'm very glad that you did, but I'm very happy that you did, because this is something that people, always have this closed mindset. They love following a particular trend. They love following things that they're comfortable with. And
Yeah.
now is not the time to be comfortable. You have to adapt to the change. And, that will only happen when right up here, this is more open. So thank you. It is very important. Now, I do have something else that I want to ask you. Okay,
Yep.
we do know that the market is demanding. Okay, it's not that people are not hiring, they are hiring. But there are
Yeah.
some industries that are hiring like full on, in full swing. Okay, so according to you, if you could just tell me three industries that are hiring the
Hmm.
most right now, and which job seekers have a lot of opportunities out there but are not sure about it because they're not, they don't see the trends, or they don't know what's really happening in the market.
Yes, thank you for asking this very relevant question, which can help many of them. But I would ask the audience here, okay, let me check their knowledge and their research of what the trending industries are right now, post 20 COVID 2020, COVID-19. So please put it in the chat box. I would love to see what are the industries that you see are trending. Where are the jobs in demand? Which companies or which industries, organizations that are hiring left, right, and center? E-commerce, yes. Purti, thank you. Digital marketing, yes. Bring it on. Cloud, robotics, CRM, yes. There you go. We have so many responses. Virtual, Santosh Soni, virtual. Everything is virtual right now. So precisely AI, artificial intelligence, IT industry. Okay, so the ones that I had in mind was e-commerce, which is trending, IT industry. Within IT, there's a huge scope: robotics, augmented reality, blockchain, and couple of more things which are very technical, but that they are in huge demand. Somebody mentioned virtual. Somebody also mentioned digital. So digital marketing, anything that is on the online space is in demand. Zoom has crossed ever its revenues since COVID. because everybody, including us, everyone were on Zoom or many other online platforms like Teams. So hospitality, game developer, yeah. So it's very simple. E-commerce, your medical field, medical industry is actually medical supplies, medical manufacturing also. Like we have personal personal care, your hand sanitizer, a sanitizer for corporates, in manufacturing industries, it's trending big time. So pharma, absolutely pharma, and vaccine for COVID, like Pfizer has come out with the vaccine. So imagine the demand. So of course, pharma, medical industries, they are trending. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for answering
Both
that. You
is
actually
both
did
is
answer.
listing everything. Personal trainers, call center. Yeah, there is
She,
one.
Puvati, we definitely want to know after the session what did you have for lunch because you seem to be going on. But I'm sure the call center industry and the telecom industry did very well in the pandemic. In fact, much better than what they're doing now. And yes, I love that you answer these questions because it's so important that, and we keep discussing this so often, Evil, about the
Yes.
new trends, and we're so excited about all this, and we just hope that everybody else is as excited to know what is the market demand, what is the economic, economy looking like, and
Yeah.
there's something, how much I love these questions. So there's one more I want to throw at you. So if I
Yes,
have to just
please.
ask you, because
Yeah.
you will always have like 10 to 11 relevant answers to give me. So I'm going to put you in a trap and ask you if there is one particular skill that you must have or should have as a job seeker right now with the demand that is there in the market, what should it be?
I'll be very precise. It's very
Please.
difficult to respond. It's difficult to kind of uh, choose one among all those which are super important. I think you had done one session, if I remember, 10 top skills that are in demand for 2020 and beyond. I think you shared some of the great insights at that time. But I see one thing, one skill which each of us have to improvise or learn is digital skill. What is digital skill? Our way to deal with everything that we do virtual. Okay. Knowing social media, to LinkedIn, to anything that works in the digital space. Even at work, our files are saved in cloud right now as we speak. Okay, our backup is done on cloud computing and cloud space and all of that. Everything that summarizes in one simple word, which is digital skill. So we have to be aware, we have to improvise, innovate to master this, because otherwise we'll be outdated. You can't be going to office and say, no, I don't know, I'm very poor in technology. Done. Don't say that I'm poor in technology. Say that I am good with technology and I have the ability to learn. As good as saying when you were a child to where you are today, you have learned a lot of things. You learn to cycle, you learn to drive, you learn to eat, you learn to sing, you learn to do many things. Technology is another way. Even I get hassled, I get overwhelmed with technology. But my mentor told, Avil, if technology is something that is driving lives today, would you want to say it is difficult, or would you want to be behind? I said, no. Then what you should do? You should embrace it. You should start saying, I love technology and I will learn it. It's very simple. So nothing is rocket science. It is simple as long as you learn it. That's it. So digital skill, Renira. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know how important social intelligence is. And now this one is related directly to what you said. So if you say that, this is the skill that you need to have, and you know how much I love learning new skills, new processes. So this one's like directly from my heart. If I had to ask you if there's one most valuable course that you would recommend people to do right
Yeah.
now if they haven't done it already and if
Hmm.
they still have time at hand, and
Yeah.
from where, what kind of resources would you suggest?
Okay. So the skill that I mentioned, digital, is can be found in many courses or many platforms. Okay. So if I just research the digital skills for productive engagement or high productivity, you will find links from Forbes to many speakers, many videos on YouTube. Okay, free of cost, you can learn. But in Udemy, there are courses on digital marketing. There are courses on upskilling yourself. Please take those courses. It roughly costs you peanuts. It's like as good as you going to Starbucks and buying a coffee. And at that price, if you can get something which can help you learn new skill and get better with your own self, then that's it. So there is no particular course, Renira, but I would encourage people to go on YouTube. There are many people who have done videos. They can learn. Just I know Renira is Google is her best friend. Okay, Google is her best friend. So make Google your best friend and type. You'll get a lot of information content, but you got to know what particularly you want to learn and then pick that topic and learn. That's it, Renira, from me.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning Google. I keep telling everybody, maybe your spouse, your parents, your siblings, all of them will not answer you, but Google will always give you an answer.
Yes.
So please go to Google and ask. Do not go with the first search option. That's the tactic that I use. I never go with anything that says this is a Wikipedia research. I go down to, any company or any websites that are authentic. So get your research also right. Not everything that Google gives out is authentic. So you need to know what to search and where to search. And Avil, I have, I'm actually running short of time, but I do have a few questions, just 2 or 3 from the audience and very relevant ones. So I would like to address it. Okay, so there is this one very personal question from a friend of mine. And he says, I can see it's personal because he says, let's say you go for 5 rounds of interviews and finally the HR claims that we found someone closer to the role and gives you no feedback. How do I work on it? By the way, I have also followed up twice from my end doing my bit. What would your advice be for a situation like this? I can see you smiling.
I've been in that situation. So I would only say to that person is better is waiting for you. Better is waiting for you. Probably that's not your end destination. Everything happens for a reason and for a better cause. Everything in your life, if you go back and see now, whatever has happened for a good reason. As long as you look at optimistic way of doing things or dealing with things, you will not see that is end of the tunnel, because 5 interviews you probably have learned much more than what you were if not you had to attend 5 interviews. So be grateful for having those 5 interviews. And sometimes it might also happen that the person who they offered also can withdraw the offer, may say no. So always be positive that, okay, if not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe after 3 months, maybe after 6 months. As we speak, there's a friend of mine who's a recruiter now. She was in HR. She gave an interview in January. She gave an interview. Couple of rounds of interview, 3 rounds of interview, and she waited. After 8 months, they got back. 8 months. After 8 months, they got back with the offer letter. Anything can happen. So don't get disappointed, demoralized, because I know it's efforts. You're waiting. You are like, I have one thing that I'm sure that I'll get it. But sometimes it works for your own good when you look back. So go with that frame of mind, with that mindset. I hope that would satisfy whoever that has asked you, Renira. That's how I would look at it.
I'm sure we have this thing that we the reason we are, I think, also positive, Avil, is because we always believe the universe is in alignment with whatever happens, and whatever happens for the best. And for all the job seekers, I think the only way you can keep a positive mindset is by always being ready for failure, being ready for rejection, because then you do not take it to heart. Whatever comes your way, you just move on, because maybe it's not meant for you, or maybe you didn't do it right. It cannot be the other person's fault all the time. We have a very funny question, and it's a very cute one, actually. There's somebody named Alex who says, how to handle quirky questions during an interview?
So it depends on what kind of quirky questions they ask. Depending on that, you have to be, see, humor always works. So you have to bring in humor. because they also test your ability to take nonsense, ability to take pressure. They'll also try to know what kind of behavior, how do you react to certain things, and this is a way to test as well. So it depends on question to question. So probably whoever has asked,
Alex.
Alex, okay, Alex, connect with me one to one. By the way, there is a surprise for each of you, and I will share that freebie that I'm going to offer soon after this. And
Wow,
then
New Year gifts for all of us.
yeah, give your gifts to everyone who has attended today's session.
I have one
Okay.
more question. It's by Magic
Yeah.
Trainer, and your and my guess is, I think, right. Maybe I think this is Khalid. But the question is, when should you reject job offer?
And should you reject job offer?
A very brave question and a very valid one.
If you don't like, then you can reject. There is no harm. If you don't like it, you can reject. But depends. You ask these three questions. Okay, is a job that you love to do? If yes, good. Do you see growth in that job that you're going to be hired or going to accept the offer? If yes, good. Third, do you have would so first is would you love to do the job? Second is, do you have the growth perspective? Second, ask yourself, would you love the company industry that you'll be part of? Would it be the growth oriented industry in the next 5 to 10 years? If yes, good. Then you are convinced that I have to accept the offer. If you have to reject the offer, then either of these have to tick no, right? This is a simple way that I look at and I guide people. And they say, do I love to do this job? No. Okay, then your answer is already no. But sometimes people have to take something, right? And then I tell them, okay, take it as an interim until you find something. Okay. For example, now in this part of the world, you can't just take for 3 months or 6 months. You have to at least commit for 1 year, depending on that, depending on the company and how they look at things. So there are different parameters that you have to look at, gauge, analyze from your personal situation, family. There are so many things. Okay, based on that, you have to take this calculated risk or the call, or whether you have to accept or reject. Okay. Once again, it is a situation based, person to person. So, but something that you don't like, then don't take it. Simple.
You'll just add grief to the company and yourself, rather.
Yeah, exactly. I know people that with that they wanted a job, they took it, and after 6 months they came back crying. Well, I don't like this job, blah blah blah. So why do you go through
Yeah,
that pain?
absolutely. And I think at the end, people, it's time people understand that you cannot mix your personal and professional just to, the end goal has to be very clear. Clarity is everything. So
Yeah.
even sometimes, even the salary, I think, Avil, if the salary you think is not worth, the kind of quality you're getting for the job, sometimes it's okay to reject. But then that depends. That totally depends. You'd have to really make a very wise call there. And those are all the questions that we have for today. Thank you so much, Avil, for answering all of them with a smile on your face still. I think the Superman pose really works. Do you get all of them in your family to do it like the A5? Everyone does it in the morning.
No, I've been training my children that they stand in front of the mirror, and I have one of the most empowering statement, the power pose or the winning position, and
Oh, I know this.
walk like a winner. You walk like a winner. This is what I learned from Tony Robbins and Unleash the Power Within. Every morning, I wake up and look into the mirror and I say, I'm a winner, and I do the winning pose, the whatever pose. I mean, this is my winning pose. Huh? I am a winner, and then I walk like a winner. As in, when you walk in, imagine you have the red carpet and you walk, it's like that. So that is amazing. So you guys can practice it.
We're all going to do this new things that you
Alex,
keep
Alex
teaching
is
us every day.
laughing. But it
I'm
works. It
sure.
works wonders, guys, because you're tricking your mind. Your mind is always focused on challenges, problems, and issues. But when you tell your mind that you are born to be an achiever, you are born for greatness. That's where you kind of tell yourself, tune yourself, program yourself to success.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the enthusiasm that you get every time you're here. And I know how much you love to gain knowledge from us as well. You're as enthusiastic to learn as well. So I know, how much this means to you, looking at it from both the points of view, because you've been this side and you've been that side. So I know whatever you've shared is all through your genuine experience. And thank you so much for, always telling us
Most
things
welcome.
and, for letting us learn from your mistakes. I do believe that it's not necessarily important for you to only learn from your mistakes. It's good to learn from others as well. So thank you for doing that for
Most
us. Now,
welcome, Renira.